CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Well, it wasn't the cost of hydro, but it was the lack of it that was an issue for some businesses in Langford today after an early morning crash. BC ambulance crews called the emergency responders about 4:30 after spotting a car smashed into a power transformer on McCallum Road. When the first fire crews arrived, they found the passenger and the driver of the vehicle already out of the car, standing in the shopping centre's parking lot. Langford Fire says that BC Hydro advised them to keep a safe distance away until the box had been assessed.
When we got on scene, the occupants were out of the vehicle, and we were advised from BC Hydro to just keep distance until they arrived on scene to secure the area for us. The vehicle hit a large transformer kiosk in the parking lot. Did knock out the power at the beginning. Hydro came on scene and then turned off the power to all the businesses in the small area.
Made for a disruption for all the big boxes in the area. McCallum Road was closed for nearly 2 hours as BC Hydro repair crews fixed the box. They needed to bring in a big crane to remove the damaged transformer. Now, the initial crash didn't knock out the power, but to fix the problem, Hydro had to cut the electricity to businesses nearby. Everything from the coffee shops to mortgage brokers were left in the dark.
Well, we're going to have to be getting on our cell phones and start canceling all our appointments that we have booked this morning. And unfortunately, we can't work because we have no phones, computers, everything is down. It could cost us a couple of deals anyway, which could end up being thousands of dollars.
Power was restored to those businesses by late this afternoon. RCMP are still investigating the cause of the early morning crash. Well, the end is near for Zellers. There's a target on the Canadian retailer, and it's getting ready to close the doors of its stores and doing it at all costs. The Zellers outlet at the Tillicum Shopping Centre in Saanich has been liquidating its inventory this week to make way for the new Target store. The sign says it all. Everything must go before Target aims its sights on that location at the end of August. Shoppers say they're excited about the arrival of the new store, but they're going to miss the friendly Zellers staff.
This friendliness of the staff, especially, I feel sad about that. And they always had good specials on. And as a senior, I do enjoy the Seniors' Day.
I like that it's really community-based and there's faces I've seen here for like a really long time, so that's probably what I'll miss.
Well, I'm going to miss it.
Yeah?
Yes.
And what is it you're going to miss?
The shopping here. It's been a good place to shop and good bargains.
They're blowing out the stock, but the store isn't closed yet. The Target at Tillicum is set to open in April 2013. The Zellers at the Hillside Shopping Centre in Victoria will also be transformed into a Target outlet, but has not begun liquidating its inventory just yet. Elementary school students in the Capital Region are leaving their classrooms to learn how the city is reducing its carbon footprint.
That little bucket there, it was
More than 450 students got a grand tour of the Public Works Yard today. The city wants to show young children how it is trying to make environmentally friendly choices. As part of the tour, the students took part in the Cut the Carbon program, where they had a chance to learn about recycling, energy-efficient garbage trucks, and LED traffic lights. The city says it hopes those green choices rub off on the kids.
A lot of our work is kind of hidden. People don't get a chance to see it, so it's a chance to see what we do. And also, who knows, down the road it may be something the kids are interested in a career. We do a lot of different things at Public Works.
It was really fun because we were trying to get as many kids as we could into a smart car.
How many kids did you get?
12. I think 12.
Lots of recycling and how much cleaning there is in garbage trucks and cleaners, street cleaners.
Ever thought you might want to be a City Works employee?
Yeah, I might.
Plenty of kids have seen the process and have learned lessons as well. This was the 13th year for Public Works Day for the school kids. Now, the federal government is getting ready to impose back-to-work legislation just hours after CP rail workers walked off their jobs today. The railway's freight service ground to a halt after talks broke down between management and the Teamsters last night. Nearly 5,000 CPR union members are off their jobs across the country today. Freight service is suspended, but commuter trains such as the West Coast Express on the Lower Mainland continue to run. The Labour Minister, Lisa Raitt, says the government's preparing to legislate those workers back on their jobs, but the earliest that can happen is Monday. A Victoria driftwood artist is upset over a new addition to his best-known piece of work that he doesn't want and says could be a serious safety hazard. If you have walked along the Songhees waterfront, you'll know the spot. It's the Fantasy Isle ship that's made out of painted driftwood. Well, Right next to it, a dead seal has washed up near the display. The artist, Rich Rico, stopped by to pick up some litter and noticed the seal. Rico tells us that there are children playing in that area every day, and he says the carcass may be carrying disease. So he tried to call somebody to take it away.
I phoned the city, and the city shuffled me around, said they couldn't help. I phoned the Harbor Authority. They gave me the 2 numbers. I called the fisheries. Nobody called me back. It's a hazard for the kids. Who knows what the thing died of? Kids are curious. They're going to go and poke it.
Well, after talking to Rico, CTV News called the City of Victoria, which has now contacted the Department of Fisheries. We also spoke to zoologist Dr. Anna Hall, who says the seal may have been killed by a transient killer whale. You may recall that the city had its hands full about 3 years ago when a dead animal washed up on shore near Clover Point. Not a marine mammal, it was nicknamed Cuddles the cow. The 700-kilogram carcass had to be removed in the bucket of an excavator and put into a truck. Where the cow came from, this many years later, still has never been determined. Fashion was the focus at a unique fundraiser last night at the Uptown Shopping Centre in Saanich. The inaugural Style Swap, where shoppers bring in 10 name brand items and exchange them for 10 different ones. A portion of the proceeds went to support breast cancer research, the BC Cancer Foundation, and any of the clothes left over were donated to the Boys and Girls Club. The Grand Chief of the Assembly of First Nations, Shawn Atleo, is set to launch his campaign to run for a second term. Atleo was elected to his first 3-year term in July of 2009. He will officially announce his candidacy and launch his campaign in North Vancouver tomorrow. Atleo is the hereditary chief of the Ahousaht First Nation on the west coast of Vancouver Island. The ongoing battle between the Halalt First Nation and the District of North Cowichan has made its way to the BC Court of Appeal. 3 days of arguments began today. The issue is a municipal well that was built beside the Halalt Reserve. Last July, a Supreme Court judge ruled that the Halalt were not properly consulted or accommodated before the well was built. The district has been prevented from drawing water from the well as its argument made its way through the court system. The case is expected to wrap up on Friday.